Hello friends, today's topic is of great interest. We are going to discuss a theory which laid the foundation of internationalization in trade. Friends, international trade is the exchange of capital, goods, and services across international borders or territories. And this concept is not a new concept. In fact, it existed throughout history. For example, Uttarapatha, Silk Road, Amber Road and Salt Roads. Its economic, social, and political importance has been on the rise in recent centuries. The theory of absolute advantage theory was postulated as a solution to the theory of mercantilism. In fact, to understand the pattern in international trade, different trade theories are postulated. Initially, it was mercantilism, in which protectionism measures are taken to protect the domestic industries and/or accumulate bullionism. The major repercussions of mercantilism are monopoly mercantilism, which stresses government regulation and monopoly often lead to inefficiency and corruption. Retaliation mercantilism leads to tit-for-tat policies. High tariffs on imports leads to retaliation. Money accumulation mercantilism justified empire building and the poverty of colonies to enrich the empire country. Diseconomies economies of scale from specialization possible under free trade. Moving ahead, the theory of absolute advantage was the first that indicated the importance of specialization in production and division of labor. This theory was propounded by Adam Smith in his famous book, The Wealth of Nations, published in 1776. Smith argued that it was impossible for all nations to become rich by following mercantilism because the export of one nation is another nation's import. Adam Smith stated that all nations would gain simultaneously if they practiced free trade and specialized in accordance with their absolute advantage. This theory is based on several assumptions. First, trade will take place between two countries only. 2th. Only two commodities are traded in these two countries. Thus, this model is 2 by 2. Third, free trade exists between the countries, means there are no taxes on foreign trade. Neither any barrier to trade exists. Fourth, assumption says that there is only one factor of production, which is labor. Let us understand the theory with the help of an example. We are taking two countries as India and China. The two commodities are wheat and rice. Let us observe the table. India needs 10 workers to produce 1 ton of wheat, while it needs 20 workers to produce 1 ton of rice. On the other hand, China needs 20 workers to produce 1 ton of wheat, while it needs 10 workers to produce 1 ton of rice. It is clearly visible that India needs half number of laborers to produce wheat in comparison to rice. In simple words, we can say that India is cost efficient in producing wheat. Similarly, China is efficient in producing rice. This is called absolute advantage, which India has for wheat and China has for rice. To decide the absolute advantage, we just use the principle of opportunity cost. The opportunity cost in India for wheat in comparison to rice. Similarly, in China for rice production. We can understand this with the help of production possibility curves. The slope in PPC of India shows that it produces more wheat than rice. The next PPC of China shows that it produces more rice than wheat. Please note the area of world's total production. Now, if they allow the foreign trade, the combined PPC for both the countries will be higher than the individual curves. This is the area of excess production due to free trade. This is over and above individual production curves. We can observe this in this table. Initially, when India and China are not doing trade, total world production for wheat is 30 tons and the same for rice, that is 30 tons. Means if India and China produce only the products in which they have absolute advantage, same cost which is not being utilized completely. If they do it for efficient product, they will produce more. That is 40 tons, India will produce 40 tons of wheat and China will produce 40 tons of rice. Now, it is established that total world production has increased by 10 tons for both rice and wheat. The surplus production can be exported, which will bring you revenue. You can see that, after adopting the absolute advantage, the country is not only meeting domestic consumption as earlier, that is 30 tons, but they are producing 10 tons for exports. Now, you tell me, should we not do international trade? Oh, yes. You got it right. This is the absolute advantage theory of Adam Smith, a Scottish economist, philosopher and author as well as a moral philosopher, a pioneer of political economy and a key figure during the Scottish Enlightenment, also known as the father of economics or the father of capitalism. Finally, we can conclude the theory as absolute advantage is the ability of an individual or group to carry out a particular economic activity more efficiently than another individual or group. Secondly, the excess production will take place due to economies of scale due to absolute advantage. Each country will produce more in the same cost, as their average cost of production is reduced. This is all possible on the virtue of the division of labor on the basis of functional specialization, as everyone is producing in which he is good at. This will lead to improved performance in every task they are doing, since everyone will focus on one thing and will make them more productive than before. This efficiency and enhanced capacities of everyone will enable the establishments of inventions coming from workmen. For any feedback and topic inclusion, please write in the comment section. Please like and share the video to learn more topics. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Autodidact to stay updated. Till then, stay healthy and happy. All the best.